Hello, here's a quick review of the Bose Sport earbuds, which I've had now for a full day, and I just wanted to chime in with my thoughts on it. Just a little bit of an exercise here. I'm always talking about books, but hey, let's talk about technology. Now, before I actually launch into my thoughts on this, let me give you a little my history with earbuds. I bike all over the place, and no ums, no ahs. I was looking for something to get away from having the cord stretching somewhere on my person to the phone. Instead, I can put my phone away in my pannier bags and listen away to primarily podcasts. I'm primarily a podcast listener, so this is I'm not that choosy on sound quality, which I should probably say right off the bat. That said, there are things that I found lacking in some of my previous earbuds because I've this is not my first rodeo. My first rodeo, which will you'll then find out what my big motivations for getting the Bose Sports was the Galaxy Buds Plus from Samsung, which I think this goes for like about 117 now because it's old. It's old. I probably paid somewhere in the 200s for it when I bought it, and that single earbud there does give me good sound. The only problem was that, yes, only one earbud because I guess luckily for me, the left earbud popped out of my ear as I was grocery shopping within like the first week of buying this, and I lost it, which really sucked. Really sucked. That was really depressing that the thing didn't fit properly. I may not have checked my sides, but I still find, even having kind of gone through all the little tube things, this one still will pop out. But because I only have the one in my ear, I've always caught it. So this is why I've had it for the last couple of years. Now, after I lost the earbud, I went, okay, I'm just going to get a bargain basement one because if I'm going to be walking around with something that I can lose, I shouldn't buy something that's 200 plus bucks and lose it. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go cheap, and I did. I went inexpensive. This was probably, I think it was under 60 bucks. It was like maybe 50 bucks, which, compared to a $200 one, this IKEA, AIKELA, Akelia was definitely cheaper. You know, much much bigger case, which is not a big deal for me. I have big pockets and stuff like that. This actually is the handy. This one is actually functions as a battery pack. It's got a little charging USB-C charging port there, but it also has a USB-C charging port here, so you could actually use the battery to charge something else, like maybe your phone or something like that. So that is kind of handy. The earbuds are that much bigger than the Samsungs. The Samsung is definitely it is the smallest, whereas this one, probably blurry as hell here, but it sticks out. The cheaper one sticks out a little bit more. The big thing with this, though, when you take it out of your ear, it doesn't stop playing. It makes some fairly loud chiming noises when you're done. Actually, they both kind of make rather loud chiming noises for when you're doing stuff, which is a little bit annoying. But what I was finding was, instead of using this, I kept on going back to the smaller Samsung and just using the single one all the time, which I think there's probably a comfort level. I think this is a little less comfort. It's getting a lot of earwax and stuff like that trapped in the thing. This one was a bit more comfortable, and I finally went, all right, I need to actually chunk up and get a higher level earbud again, but this time really look at the various brands and find out what ones are you know, it's a it is a good earbud, but it's also one that is going to stay in my ear, and I'm not going to lose it and waste all my money, which is, looking around and looking at all the different reviews, it was the Bose Sport earbuds, which sounds like they're quite comfortable, but also they have this hook thing in them, which makes it very difficult for them to just, they won't pop out of your ears. So that is indeed what I got. So here, I'm opening my box now. I don't care about unboxing videos. So as you can see, definitely much bigger than the Samsung for the case, smaller than this, though, you know, not by much, but it's actually maybe a little bit more ergonomic of a shop. This is a brick, whereas this is more of a lozenge. I know from experience that I have no trouble carrying this around. This has what I find, I think I've heard reviewers talk about how with these, there's just a little, actually, I don't even know if this one actually has, it does. It's got a little bit of a magnet that holds it shut. The Samsung has a little tighter of a magnet, but I still find with both of these, if you drop the cases, everything immediately goes flying. I haven't dropped this yet, but what this has is a little button there, and you press the button and it opens. So I think there's much more of a chance that it's not going to spring open and they're going to go flying everywhere. So yeah, there are the earbuds. It's got a little LED thing when you first thing, which that's showing the battery, so it's all charged in the battery. There, it has little lights on the sides showing, you know, it's fully, or if it's fully charged, or if that's charging, the little blue things. Now, it is definitely a little bit more of a chunky fellow there. It has this hook on it, which is the main part, which that hooks into the side of your ear. This sort of rests in the ear. It doesn't go as deep into the ear canal, so is a little bit more that way. When I put it in, it says battery full in a fairly quiet voice, and it doesn't do that kind of loud chirp that some of them do. So yeah, it definitely gives it's definitely got it definitely gives you a larger profile here of sticking out. I'm gonna have to see how that is when I'm biking. I usually just regularly have a band that goes around my head, which is now in the wash because it's the weekend, and to just keep my ears warm when I'm biking. I find the wind usually keeps them warm. It also has the benefit of it'll hold everything in place. Hopefully, because the band is dry, it won't mess with the controls on the side. So this, on the surface of it, looks pretty good. They've stayed in. I actually started off because it came with these the little hooks here. I can pull one off and show it to you. Well, maybe I don't want to continually pull them off here. I can show you the hooks. These little hooks here. These are the little rubber bits. So usually on a phone you'll get like this little rubber bit, but this part here is the thing that keeps it in your ear. It hooks into your outer ear, and you kind of tuck it in. If I've done it correctly, it is all the way tucked in there. And I started off with this size, which is the larger of the two, and I went down to the one. I went grocery shopping today, tempting fate, and it seems to have just kind of stayed in my ear really well. Actually, I think I may have just gone with I think I just went with a 1 because I felt kind of funny being completely deaf coming out. It definitely covers more of the ear in a way, so doesn't have noise canceling at this level. I think you go up to the Bose Comfort Sport, not Comfort, Bose Comfort earbud. That one has noise canceling, which is an extra $100. I don't need noise canceling. So it stays in really well. It seems to have stayed in really well. Hopefully I won't be making a video, you know, in another week saying, came out, I lost it again. I wasted This is $189, probably over $200 once you do that. As for the sound, it's definitely a lot louder than either of the other two. For the other two, I found I was, especially for podcasts, and you get podcasts that are made by people who don't have like sound engineers and are in studios. Oftentimes they're kind of quiet, and I'd have to jack it all the way up. I'd have to jack the sound way, way up, all the way to max to be able to hear it just comfortably. With these, I found, oh, I can actually hear at much, much lower levels. And it actually does sound like a little. It's a step up in sound from the Samsung. Definitely a step up from the Kia, which they were getting the job done. This is definitely what, if I was in some situation I was worried about stuff, I would definitely use those. But this seems to be, it's got a good sound, a good sound for it. As for controls, I'm not going to do any tapping right now because I'll probably turn off the video if I do. But the controls are good. You double tap to start and stop anything that you want. You can put a shortcut on. You can put a shortcut on this side. The shortcuts are, they're like, you could put a double tap on this side and you can get, like, you find out what the power level is on your thing. You can skip tracks forward, or you can skip tracks back, but you can only do one of those. So you have to pick, do I want to go forward or do I want to go back? I don't know how much I'm really particularly going to use the shortcut. I think I put it back to just battery level, because yeah, that's all yeah. But this start stops, and it does you can control the volume. A lot of reviewers saying, oh, it doesn't seem to be able to control the volume. I don't know if that was just a software update afterwards, but you download the app. It's kind of a little bit torturous. You have to download the app for Bose and turn on volume control in the app, at which point you can then stroke down or stroke up to get what volume you want. And that seems to work quite efficiently. I don't know why you have to download the stupid app to do it. I had to sign up, go into the app, do all the permissions and stuff like that. That's a little annoying, but I did that because I like volume control. Don't have to dive into my pocket for my phone, or because I'm putting this thing into my pannier bag, and just like, it would be a real pain to have to dig my phone back out again. So that's good. The other thing that I know that people have complained about is that its EQ, equalization controls are pretty basic. Again, you go into the app, and they've got, there's basically three level bars for, I guess, lower, mid, and high. That's it. For me, for podcasts, I don't really care. I've just kept it on normal, and so I can hear and it sounds very clear, very loud enough that I'm not having to jack it all the way up. But that's something that, if you're a music purist, that might be something that's going to be like, you want to fiddle with everything and tiny little adjustments and stuff like that. That might be a big thing for you. Again, for me, for doing podcasts, this is probably ridiculously overpowered. Podcasts and YouTube, I'm probably ridiculously overpowered. So far so good. First impressions of my Bose Sport earbuds is great. I probably look like a complete geek with these things in my ears. For my ears, it feels pretty comfortable. I think the other thing would probably be battery. I'll be interested to see how this matches up with this. I've been doing kind of a full day of just using them. Had the case all charged up, had the earbuds all charged up, and it seems to be. I think it's still at, like, 100% for the earbuds themselves, and the case seems to still have a good charge on it. So I'm not somebody who's listening to something for the whole day, but for if I'm doing chores around the house, if I'm out grocery shopping, if I'm biking, I'm listening to music. I'm on the go. I don't want them to fall out, and it seems to be getting me through the day quite easily for charge, which for me is all I really want. I have a good good ethic of all my devices get plugged in at the end of the day and are all so that they're all charged for the next day. My watch, that's my Samsung watch. Unfortunately, yeah, I've had to break away from the Samsung family. I've got a Samsung phone because just any of the Samsung uh, earbuds all seem to have the same system, and I'm just worried that I'm a sweaty guy who's on the move. I'm gonna lose them. Also, not that careful. These you have to really pop them pop them back out again to get them out. So this is probably, hopefully, is going to be a good choice. Good choice for me. If for some reason you've stumbled upon me blabbing on about my technology, hopefully it's been useful to you. If not, that's fine. I just wanted to do a little practice of doing a little bit more presentation today, so that was also good. So we all win. All right, more videos later.